literally the last offer I had that was Division I FBS. You know, I had an FCS, I had some FCS school, but that was literally the biggest school I had left that was willing to take me at that time. Now I had other schools, you know, saying that we can take you later, but they literally were saying, "Hey, your spot's still good." So that's how I ended up at UAB.
How was the realization of just feeling like, wow, I went through JUCO. Now I'm at a big school, UAB.
Right, man. You go from living in dorms, you know, for 2 years at junior college to, you know, having to eat cafeteria food all the time, and I had to drive 10 minutes to go to the Walmart. You know, we were in the middle of nowhere. We were off the interstate, in the middle of nowhere, a little small town, western Mississippi. To now you're in the big city of Birmingham. You know, college life, just city life. It was a shock, but you can talk to any junior college player that's ever played junior college football. That's the goal. Mm-hmm. The goal is to leave junior college and say, "Hey, I can go get my own apartment. Right. You know, I'm getting paid every month now. Mm-hmm. You know, legally. You know, like most kids, some of my kids didn't know that. Like, you get a monthly stipend from your school, and that amount, you know, varies on what school you sign with. But that's in junior college. That's what you look forward to. Now I'm getting paid. I can have my own. I can pay my rent. I can have a little money in my pocket. In junior college, you're not getting paid. You get your refund at the beginning of the semester or the end of the semester, and you stretch that for the whole semester. Mm-hmm. You know, like, you might have to go get a job at night after practice, things like that. If you want some side money, if your family can't financially help you. So now you're Division I. You say I play Division I football. Like I said, you're reaping all the benefits of, you know, gear and monthly stipends and being able to have your own apartment and just playing on TV and saying like, I'm a Division I athlete now. So that's a big shock and a big relief as well, because like I said, for any high school student, especially junior college player, that's the end goal.
How was the experience just playing at UAB, playing in the Legion Field, just that whole experience? Because UAB, when I drive through downtown, all I see is UAB.
Right.
That's all you see.
That's all you see.
Everything else you see at UAB. And now you see the big practice field off of you guys back that you guys built. Just how was that experience being in downtown Birmingham? You don't know if you in the city. You don't know if you in the school. You don't know where you at. You don't know where you at.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Man, getting to UAB, I'm gonna say this. I would say this, like, getting to UAB, I'm thinking I signed, like, my first day on campus, I'm finna get a book bag full of gear, things like that. And all the guys that came in with me can attest to this. You know, we had gear, but UAB was on the startup. I guess I didn't realize, like, they literally were coming from ground up. Did it bother me? Not really. At first I was like, okay, it is what it is. Didn't bother me because, like I said, it goes back to where I'm from. I never had anything. Right. So the little bit that they give me, I'm thankful for it. But I'm talking to my friends that signed Louisville, and they sending me snaps and pictures of, like, we getting this, and this. I'm like, I'm not getting that. Am I jealous? No. Right. I'm used to it. I'm embracing what I'm handed, what God has, you know, presented me with. I'm embracing it. I'm loving it. They're giving us 2 shirts and 2 shorts and a pair of shoes. I'm like, man, I didn't get that in junior college, so I'm getting more than what I got. But literally, UAB was coming from the ground up. The program, you know, was ended after the 2014 season, which reinstated in 15. Of course, we signed in 16. That whole 16 year, we practiced that fall without playing a game. We game planned for our 2017 opponents like it was a real season. Like, literally, I had guys that came in with me that left, transferred, they couldn't deal with it. We literally practiced like we were playing a game every Saturday. Wow. So most people are like, man, I'm not even playing. Like, why am I here? I embraced it. You know, I'm not gonna say it was the easiest. It definitely was tough. There was times where I was like, man, do I need to transfer? Like, do I need to just go to that SWAT school back home and, you know, and kind of do this, or go to this smaller level school, FCS or whatever? But I stuck it out, and I'm glad I did. Because I reaped a lot of benefits. Went to 2 bowl games, won the first ever conference championship. Got 2 rings from there. Wow. Got to go to the Bahamas. Wow. You know, like I said, those 2 bowl games, and then like I said, just being a part of history. that UAB, we had an ESPN series,
Yeah.
and hopefully a 30 for 30 should come from that story soon. Like man, it's so much tradition in that city for football.
Right.
You know, UAB was down for a lot of years because they were only winning like 2 or 3 games, and for Coach Bill Clark to come in and have a winning season since he's been there in 2014, and just to bring life to that city, like everybody knows UAB football now.
Right.
You know, we went to 3 conference championships, 18, 19, and 20, won 2 out of 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're returning a lot of stars next year to possibly go back. So that's they could possibly go to 3 out of 4 years to the conference championship. That was unheard of. They weren't even close to that in the past. You know, so the whole turnaround started in 2016 and 17. My first ever collegiate game, Division I game, was against Alabama A&M at Legion Field. So you got A&M and UAB in-state schools, man. The crowd was electric. It's like 47,000 people. I had to play in front of that many people. And when I ran onto that field, it was just like, I made it. You know, like I'm here. I'm from Lena, Mississippi, a town of 200 people, and I'm in front of 47,000 people playing the game that I loved. I've been playing since I was 8 years old. So that experience with UAB was just eye-opening. You know, it was a big relief.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I made it. I'm here now.
You know what? Want to know the craziest part about that little segment of his story? I was at that game, and I was covering that game. And I actually recorded you guys walking out on the field, and I think you guys got in like a big old circle in the middle of that field.
Yeah, we do it. It's a pregame ritual, man. Pregame ritual.
And I cannot remember the gentleman's name, in which I think it was that game in which he stood up on the field and held the ball.
My big brother, man. I called Tim Alexander.
Tim Alexander.
Yeah,
Sorry, Tim,
Alexander.
that I do not remember your name.
Yeah, man. That's
At
the
the
GOAT.
moment.
That's the GOAT.
When I tell you, it was something special.
It was that day was a different day, man.
It was
a
something.
lot of history made. Like I said, Tim. A lot of you guys just Google his name. You can and he has stuff on YouTube and his website and his book telling his story, man. Long story short, he had a car wreck while he was in high school. He was one of the highly rated tight ends in the nation. He's from Birmingham. Went to Irwin High School. Had a wreck. Was paralyzed at one point from the neck down. You know, and then later on was the waist down, and he was our character head coach. Right. He was somebody we went to every day. That, hey Tim, man, I'm tired, man. It's weighing on me. I think I'm finna leave. He was the guy you go talk to, like, hey Tim, this is what's going on in my life. What do I need to do to kind of to combat it? Like, how do I get over this, man? Like, I'm homesick. Like, I'm tired. Coach making me mad. Girlfriend making me mad. Like, and he was always there to help us, and he always shared his story, showing like anything is possible. He always said, you don't want it to be easy. I just want it to be possible. And that's something that always stuck with me, and I still have a close relationship with him to this day. I actually got him to come speak to my students, to tell his story, because his story always motivated me, always showed me like everything can always be worse than what it is. Right. You never have the worst. So like Tim standing up that day in 2017, the first game back. Yeah. Like I said, man, it was a magical field, man. That whole day was a magical field, man. So
wow, you just never know how you could cross paths with somebody. Right. And it's crazy because you most likely walked past me that day.
Yeah, no doubt.
Idea.
There's media all out there, man. ESPN, like everybody was out there covering it because it was just a big story. We had been off for a year. You know what I'm saying? When something I did miss when I first got to UAB, like the locker room we were in. Like we didn't have that pavilion. Right. We didn't have that weight room we had. Man, we were literally dressing on one side of town. Our field house and the coach office used to be an old dentist office. We would dress there, have to walk a block and a half to get to the weight room. Then get a block and a half to come back to get on the field. Like it wasn't your typical Division I setting. Right. A lot of people looked at it like, bro, why did I sign here? Wow. Like they don't have anything. At some point they felt like they didn't have anything set up. Like I could have went to another school and had a better setup. But for those that stayed the course and stayed, that's how we reaped the benefits of that nice, pavilion, a turf practice field, the weight room we had, the meeting room we had. Yes, we played at Legion. I played at Legion my 2 years there, or 3 years there. Now they're building Proactive. Right. The new stadium downtown, super nice, man. Yeah. Super nice. We took a lot of pride in Legion. There's a lot of history in that stadium. Football, period. State championships, Iron Bowls, things like that, NFL games. But now UAB has proven themselves the community and the city has given back to say, hey, you guys deserve this.
Right.
You know, so it's a lot of great things going on.
I'm telling you, it's something to see when you're driving north or south on 65.
You're going to see that practice facility, man. You're going to see that practice facility from 65.
Yeah.
And if you keep on going downtown, you're going to see a lot of construction, and that construction is for that new stadium, man.
Yeah.
So
friends at Louisville who was showing their paraphernalia, it made you feel like, hey, I wish I had that or wish I had more. But I know right now we have student athletes who look at their friends who are getting all these big offers, just getting letters, not getting official offers. Like, what can we do to help the mentality of the kids now understand, like, focus on what you have going on? Because a picture could say 1,000 words, but don't get sidelined by looking at other kids who you could possibly have better stats than, but just because they have a letter of intent or we got a phone call from a university. Can you help me or help them understand, hey, keep your head down in this social media era of sports?
So I'll say this, man. Dating back when I was in high school, like, social media was booming. Like, Twitter was just taking off. Personally, man, I would tell you guys, if you want something, go get it yourself. And what I mean by that, my mom recorded all my high school games. I made my highlights on my own.
Wow.
You know, posted it on YouTube. I made over 100 DVDs and mailed them out.
Wow.
You know, at that time, we didn't have Holder in my high school, so I had to find a way to edit it on my own, make a DVD. I sent out to over 100 colleges.
Wow. Just
to get a look. I was trying to go to every camp I could. A lot of kids now, they think schools are just supposed to come in and give it to you. Still not to this day. In this era now, if I played in this era now, which is only 5 or 7 years removed, I graduated at 17. If I was class of 20 or 21, it would be so much easier for me to get an offer. Especially if I worked the way I did and promoted myself. The biggest thing I'm trying to say is promote yourself. Now you don't have to make DVDs and mail them off or email coaches. You can go show them that you're doing drills outside, drill with your trainer, your holder film. Guess how you got to do? At so-and-so on Twitter. DM so-and-so on Twitter. Like, it's so easy to get your stuff out there and get seen. People are on social media, everybody looking for kids. Right. Coaches are looking for kids, like, they gonna watch it. You know, enough people retweet it, enough people see it, or enough people like it, they gonna watch it. It's so much easier to get an offer now. Some kids are just so lazy to think they don't have to promote themselves. Promote yourself, promote your brand, be your own brand. You know, you can't ever promote yourself enough. And just now, with 2021, just speaking of the recruiting process, coronavirus has really hurt you. It hurt 20, you know, and it's hurt 21, and possibly could hurt some of 22 as well. You know, until everything gets under control, and coaches still aren't able to come out to campuses. I think that's gonna come in maybe April or May. But man, you just have to stay patient. See what you have on your plate first. You know, be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. I tell my players that all the time. You know, everybody wants to go play at Alabama. You know, in this state, everybody wants to go play at Alabama or Auburn. Nobody wants to go play at Alabama A&M. Nobody wants to go to Alabama State. You know. Now, I'm not saying settle for that level, but be real with yourself. Be real with your size, your speed, your academics. That's something you can control. You can't control your size and speed sometimes. Sometimes you can control your academics, your character. You know, how you carry yourself on social media. Like he said, my biggest thing, I tell my guys, keep your head down and keep grinding. Stop worrying about, you know, and I only say this because this is what I did. Keep your head down and keep grinding. Don't worry about the offer. Like I said, I told you my stats earlier, and I'm in Mississippi with all the JUCO. Those JUCO offers didn't come until January. February is